I'm George Solanz. I'm the Executive Vice President of the LCBO. I'm responsible for supply chain and quality assurance, as well as information technology, store development and real estate, and a number of other departments. An organic wine is a wine that is made from organic ingredients. What that means is that the grapes are organically grown, means that they're not using any pesticides, they're not using any synthetic chemicals, and even through the winemaking process, they're not allowed to use any of those synthetic products unless it is an organic ingredient. If your question is, are organic products better quality than non-organic products? In my opinion, no. Organic wine or a spirit or a beer, they must be made from organic ingredients. They must meet the Canadian organic standard, and the supplier must have proof of certification, and they have to provide us with a certificate, as well as the name or the logo of the certifying agent has to be on the label. If when we test the product, we find that it contains anything that indicates that it's not organic, such as a residue of a pesticide or sorbic acid or anything that is not allowed in an organic product, then that product is rejected. We will not put it on our shelves. I'm sort of a conventional guy. I don't buy organic products. I do read the ingredient list, and I buy products that I believe are healthy for me. I believe that if you're buying products from a good quality supplier, then those products are safe and they've been tested. So we test for 25 different parameters. We test for 24,000 samples a year, and we test for more than 500,000 tests a year. Pesticide residues are one of the parameters that we test for, but we also test for a number of other toxins such as ochratoxin A, ethyl carbamate, which is a naturally occurring compound. Pesticides are not naturally occurring in wine. As you know, pesticides are used on grapes or in other ingredients that are used in winemaking, and they find their way in the final product. Now, the wine goes through a clarification process, so in most cases, these pesticides are filtered out. But nevertheless, we test for a number of these pesticides to ensure that not only they meet the guidelines of the LCBO, which are much stricter than those of the federal government, but that they're lower than that. So we have quite a few organic wines, as well as biodynamic wines and wines that are made with sustainability processes. Obviously, in the case of organic wines or biodynamic wines, we don't want to see any pesticide residues at all. We test these products using very highly sophisticated procedures in this laboratory here. As you can see from the systems that we have, they're totally automated and they're very accurate. We test every single one of those products, and we ensure that they meet the guidelines of the Canadian organic standard. So there shouldn't be any pesticides in those products. Here at the LCBO, as I mentioned, we chemically test every single product that we sell. So I could almost argue that all of the products that we sell, they could almost be considered organic. So for me, organic doesn't really mean a lot. For some people it does. And we're in the business to sell products to all types of different customers. And if a customer would like to buy an organic product, then we would like to make sure that we have that product available. If a customer would like to buy a product that it is biodynamic, then we would like to have that product for the customer. But we'd like to ensure that these products are of good quality and they meet those standards, because that speaks to the authenticity of the product. The U.S. National Organic Program does not allow for any free sulfite in wine. In Canada, we allow up to 30 parts per million. So the Canadian Organic Standard allows up to 30 parts per million of sulfite. We believe that's the right thing to do. We believe that that concentration is sufficient to ensure that there is good antimicrobial activity in the wine, and that sulfite scavenges any dissolved oxygen, which causes oxidation of the wine, which affects the shelf life of the product. So I think, in my opinion, that the Canadian standard is the logical standard.